All right, Larry. Here's a little bit of the video that we took the other day during our lesson. If you look here, I've drawn 3 lines. This is basically the line that shows where your body begins at your swing, your lower body. This line is showing your spine angle, and we have a third line here, which we call our plane line. And I use a right elbow plane line. I've done the same thing here. This is Aaron Baddeley. You may recognize him. He's a pro, and the reason I put him here is because I want you to see the comparison as to why it is that these guys can make good, consistent, solid swings time and time again with little effort. First thing I want you to notice is your setup position. This is something that we talked about in the lesson. You're very, very upright with very stiff, straight arms. If you notice him here, he's a little more bent knees. I'll draw some lines for you here as well. Okay, he's got bent knees. When you're here, you're very, very, very upright. Okay, now I'm going to progress his swing here, and I want you to notice something. Okay. As we get to this position, I want you to notice that his lines have basically kept themselves the same. He's rotating around a fixed center. His rear end here is still right up against this line. Let's start advancing your swing a little bit here and see what happens. Okay. I don't have any issue with this compared to that. What I have an issue with is the lines here where your body begins to get more and more upright. If you notice here, you're already creating more separation, and your back is even beginning to elevate away from the ground. You're lifting your spine angle. Let's take Aaron a little further back here. At the top of his swing, you'll notice the lines are still the same. Okay, lines are still the same pretty much. Let's take you here to the top of the backswing. Actually, this was one of the shorter practice swings. What happens is on your long full swing, when it starts getting up here, this gets even further in here. But let's take this down towards the ball. Okay, look what's going on here. Look at the separation you've created over here. This is called early extension. Or a more rough way that we say it, we call it humping the shaft. It means basically you're getting onto your shaft plane line, or your right elbow plane line. If we take Aaron further down here, you'll notice as he continues down, the reason his body is able to rotate and yours is not is because he is still in his posture. So his lower body can rotate and the rest of the body can follow because of how well he stays here. Now, we don't need to be perfectly on this line, but we definitely need to make a good improvement here. Because what happens is the moment the hips move in towards this line here, your rotation stops. If you notice, you're almost straight up. You're almost standing like I am, and I'm not hitting the golf ball. And the more we take it through, the further up you get. So by the time you're at impact, this is impact here. Okay, and by the way, this line here, I'm sorry. I like this here in the practice swing. You're right on your plane line. This is a good thing. This will create straight shots. The problem is they're going to be straight weak shots because you'll have no rotation because of your lower body. Look, you're basically standing up at the ball. So you have no choice but to throw that club down towards the ball. Let's take Aaron a little further up, and we'll notice he's at impact. I want you to see he's still here. He's created no extra room. As a matter of fact, there's some golfers like Tiger Woods that will actually increase this and even move back. You've heard on TV how they talk about how he dips, and we don't want that either. But what I'm saying is that he's the best player in the world. He actually creates even more rotation by creating even more room here by moving his lower body further, by increasing his spine angles or lowering his spine angles. And then let's take you all the way to finish here. Okay, by the time we finish, look at where we are. I mean, we've completely changed every line in our body. By the way, again, this is still right up against this. Spine angle is still very close, and even the knee bend is very close to what we started. His hips have rotated, his body rotates, but he's keeping his same lines. As a matter of fact, let's go further into the follow-through. And I want you to see how he's still maintaining these same angles. Okay? So this is what I talked to you about earlier, or actually on Thursday. You know, in order for us to improve your swing and your ball striking, we have to improve rotation and spine angle. We have to work on keeping you in a more consistent position. There's no way that we can consistently strike the ball when you're changing all the angles of your body throughout your swing. It's just not going to happen. You know, I mean, now again, this is what I told you earlier. This is a commitment you have to make to making these changes, because otherwise, I can tell you, you know, I can give you every theory on the planet as to why, but if you don't, I'm showing you here in video, if you don't make the commitment to work on improving these things, then it's going to be very, very hard for you to make good swing changes. Now, I'm going to let you know in person. I'll call you, or I'll let you know some other drills that we can do to help you with this, other than the little drills that we did the other day. Let me show you something else here. Keep watching. I want you to see something on this strike here. Okay. Back a little bit actually. Just draw your lines. Again, a little bit too upright. I'd like to see you start a little more athletically. You know, you look like an athletic guy. Let's use some of that. Okay. Now the other one was a practice swing. This one was with a ball. Now, I like what we're doing here. We actually got a little better knee bend, if you notice here. Okay. And I want you to see something also. This is, again, the short practice swings. That's a little bit better, but here's what happens. You're coming in here, you're moving away so hard that it's very difficult to stay on plane and rotate. You're basically standing square and standing straight facing the ball at impact, and you got very little rotation going on here. Now, remember what I said earlier, that your plane looked better, so it created a straighter ball flight. I want you to see where the ball is right here. It's basically moving on this line here, which is straight down your target. If we keep following it a little further, you see it's moving straight down that target line. So we got a little bit of good things going on here, but we have to fix the alignments of the body. If we don't fix those alignments, it's going to be nearly impossible for you to make solid, consistent ball strikes. Let me show you one more angle. This will clear up in a second here. Clear these lines out of here for you. Here's the other part that makes these guys so consistent. And again, I'm going to show you this just for reference. I don't want you to really think about this, because until we don't fix the other parts of the body, as far as the early extension, we're never going to get to this position here. You know, they always talk about, you know, hands leading the club, you know, shaft leaning forward at impact. All this happens because of rotation. Okay, so I want you to see, this is your practice swing here. Okay, the reason that this is like this at impact, notice his and notice yours, okay, is because your body doesn't rotate. Once again, and your hips are coming in towards the ball. That's called early extension. Excuse me. So that's what's causing you not to get into a powerful striking position. This position here will compress the golf ball. Here, you're going to basically lift the golf ball. That's the difference between effortless power and power that you have to manufacture. So again, but this here is caused because of no rotation of the body, okay? And your early extension. Okay, so, you know, basically you got to keep working on this stuff. It's very important. Like I said, if you're, you know, if you're really committed to, you know, making these swing changes, then, you know, you got to move forward from here and put some work in. It's not going to happen by itself, but I'm showing you the reason why the things are happening. Now it's up to you. Give me a call if you have any questions or doubts about what we're talking about here. Alrighty? Thanks.